Okay, so we're going to be looking at Replit today, and just as a sort of flashback to the last section, we built this project board or work visualization board using bolt.new. So I'm pretty excited to be using Replit for the first time. And in this session, I just really want to, I suppose, test that capability of taking a simple idea and a simple prompt and giving it to Replit, so an AI application, and turning that idea into a web-based app. So I want to see how easy that is. I'm really interested to see the difference in the quality of the final application compared to Bolt as well. So this was the application we built. We were able to essentially drag and drop these tasks. We could add new tasks to it, so we were able to give it a priority, a description, give that task title, and we could also utilize what's called a Pomodoro timer. So this is where we can set a period of time for us to focus on the tasks that we're actually working on, followed by a break of 5 minutes. Some more details on that below, and yeah, so let's take the exact same prompt. So this is the one that we used in Bolt, and we are going to enter this into Replit. Okay, so this is pretty interesting. So it is recognizing that I'm referencing a website. It's saying to take screenshots or to get context. So it's going to take a screenshot. So this is the first noticeable difference using Replit. That's pretty cool. And then yeah, let's get that context. It would have been interesting to actually do or perform this action or this prompt without that screenshot or getting that context, but we're already progressing without it, so let's give it a go. Cool. So I can attach files, app type. Let's go with auto, because we really want to validate if we just put something simple in here, not really give it anything else, and we want to kickstart that chat. I actually, just on first, reflecting on Replit and the experience first time using it. There's some really nice functionality here from the get-go. So this ability to improve the prompt, attach a file. I'm actually going to, let's take this out, or let's put it back in, and I'll copy it. I'm just curious to see what happens when I improve that prompt. Excellent. I will be doing a video on prompting and essentially like what makes a good prompt and how you can improve your prompt as well. So it's pretty cool how this is actually set the prompt up for us. But let's go back to this. We want to do the exact same thing as we did before. Let's get that context, let's get a screenshot, and then we'll start the chat. I think what I like about both of these applications is that it's playing back. Okay, this is the action that you give me, and it's qualifying that so you can see it. Okay, so it's now giving me a plan. Okay, so the initial version describes the high-level direction that the agent is going to follow when building the first interactive version of the app. We can see some code being generated here. We've got a bit of a visualization here as well. And just here, as it's building out that visualization, we can see on the left-hand side, features and functionality that it's going to create in this initial version. And yeah, so in the chats, I can't see the chats. So imagine there's going to be like a chat that appears after it's created this, that we can then, as I hover over this, it's we can essentially request to change items from the design in that chat. This, it's not interactive. Okay, so this is a visual preview. I don't think we're going to get any anything to interact with in this version. It's asking me to approve the plan. I want to let it finish this working before I approve the plan. And the reason I want to do that is I want to see this visualization preview finalize. And then, you know, at this stage, you really want to, what I expect is going to happen next is that we're going to build this once we approve the plan. So before we go off and build it, maybe we want to remove some of these bits of functionality. So this is actually quite nice. I can't remember if Bolt gave me this option. I think it just went off and started building it. Cool, so this looks like it's completed. Let me actually expand this. I think this looks quite good. It's what we want, right? I've not got the Pomodoro timer. The initial prompt for the Bolt application didn't have it included either. So we're taking the exact same approach. We're starting off with this simple functionality, and then we're going to add the Pomodoro timer afterwards. But you know, I'm pretty happy in terms of what I'm seeing here. It's got a reference to a sprint, so I'm interested to understand how we edit that or where that comes in. And yeah, we've got our to-do and progress done. We've got a title, a description. We've got some tags here, so a prioritization tag, and then some other way to actually label the work between content, development, web, integration, research. Looks like we've got users here as well. So we've got Sarah Shen on the top and SC here. So, I mean, I like the design. I could, you know, prompt the agent here, so keep chatting and prompt it to maybe take a few things out. But I'm happy enough to approve this and it starts. And I'm just noticing this. So we've got this later section. So that's where we can store ideas to work on later. Okay, so it's going to add things in there that it can complete. So we make a request and it can complete something, it's going to add it to it. So it's kind of building a backlog of features and functionality, which is pretty cool. And it's suggesting some features here as well. And it looks like, yeah, we can remove these if we want. But yeah, I'm happy enough to approve the plan and start. So I think what we're starting is the actual build. Okay, so the layout's changed slightly. So we've got our chat over here on the left-hand side. And okay, so it's considering options. This is pretty nice. So get notified when your app is ready. So we could take, don't have my, actually I do have my mobile here. So let's actually give that a go. I'm gonna have to download the app. So we'll have a look at that the next time. But it looks like it'll maybe send me some sort of notification to my phone when it's ready. So similar to Bolt, we're seeing the file structure getting created here. And the thing that I'm not, oh, okay. So here's all the code. Okay, I mean, I quite like Bolt where it has all the files vertical on the left hand side, and you could click through them. And it's kind of like a developer interface for anybody that develops when you've got them to the side and you can click through the files. But I mean, this is good as well. So if you do want to click onto these, we can see it. And I'm just noticing these little plus buttons here. Okay, so I mean, okay, so it looks like we can really customize this view, which I have to say I quite like. I'm gonna have to go back and check that in Bolt. I don't remember that being obvious, but the capability might be there. Okay, so we're still working, and we've got our preview. So I'm noticing something just with this design at the minute. You can see that there's overflow here. And we've seen that with the Bolt application as well. So, you know, at this kind of size of screen that I've got it at now, we don't have any overflow. So, and I think this is fine for your first prompt. Where I'm seeing the real value in this is the ability to just generate an idea, visualize it, and start to get feedback really early. So my recommendation is, if you're starting to do this and you're thinking about building an application, don't worry so much about things overflowing when you get to certain screen sizes. As long as it looks good on that, what's called like desktop screen size. So like think about like your laptop or some sort of PC or Mac desktop. As long as it looks good on that and you can show it to somebody or share it with someone and you can start to get their feedback, it really validates that the idea that you've got is desirable, that is usable, and learn what somebody, you know, what other functionality would people like from this application, this idea that you've got. That's where I'm seeing like the real value of this initial prompt for anybody that's using this. It's to get that early feedback, that fast feedback on an idea that you've got. So we're still, looks like we're still working. And I'm quite keen to keep this video running so you can see, similar to the last one, how long does it really take to build an application like this. So take that simple idea, that simple prompt, and generate an application that is hopefully usable first time around. In terms of like the final product, so just as this is still doing a bit of work, visually, I don't think they're too different visually, like that end application. There's not too much difference, but okay. I think the Replit version, the design, yeah, I think from a design perspective, I preferred visually. And you know, still, this is just working. Just thinking about like that user interface as you the person like working with this. I do think Replit is better. So just looking back across the Bolt, it doesn't look like I can resize the screen by drag and drop, which isn't a bad thing. It doesn't really look like I've got much capability to customize my layouts. So from a user interface, I think Replit, it's not even that I think, you know, for me personally, I prefer Replit from a user interface, and that ability to just do simple things like resize this, and the ability to just customize these views and add additional tabs. So yeah, I think Replit's really winning in that space. Perfect. So we're finished, and it has, let's see what it's telling me. Oh, it's taking screenshots. Okay, so it's, what I'm looking at here, it's discovered an error as it's building it. It's taken a screenshot of that error, and I mean, this is something for me to look into, but I suspect that it's took that screenshot for context, and then the AI is troubleshooting it live, and then it's done some sort of fix. It's still got an issue with React. It's checking some other errors. It's editing these different files, and I mean, you can see the code. It's showing us what it's doing or what it's done, and yeah, it's retesting this, and we're seeing that it's been successful. So the issue was, yeah, that looks like the issue was resolved, and then now it's just telling us what it's done. Okay, so we can drag and drop. So remember, Bolt, that capability was missed, and I wonder if I was to reprompt Bolt again, would it build it in? But it's just interesting that I wasn't very specific with Bolt, and it didn't build that functionality in initially, that ability to drag and drop between columns. It just wasn't built in initially. So can I reorder on implements? Let me put that to the bottom. Perfect. So I can restructure the cards within the column itself. Let me drag this out. So let's see, so it's created a data model that we can have tasks, priority, and statuses. So we've got tasks, these little cards that we can move about. Priorities, we've got medium priority, high priority. Let me actually edit this. Okay, so we just got low, medium, high in terms of priority. And status. So can I change the status in here? I can't. Okay. So drag and drop functionality, you see me drag and dropping. We can reorder it as well. So we've got full CRUD. So that's the ability to create reads, updates, and deletes. So I can add a task here. So I can create. You see me moving in here. So for me to update, I can come in here and I can update. I can also read write. So I can essentially read everything here. I can update it. Let me just make a simple update. I'll change these all to capital letters. Okay, so that was successful, and I get a little update here as well, which is nice. I can delete, so let's go in here and delete. Nice, a little prompt to say, are you sure? So we deleted that. Excellent. So the gong.io purple gradient styling, let me just show you Gong. Just for reference. So you can kind of see the styling here for Gong, the color coding. So I think it's done that pretty well. It's added some sample revenue team tasks, and yeah, it's not fix. Yeah, it's asking me how does it look and feel. I have to say, like, it does look and feel quite nice. We did talk about the screen size here. I'm just gonna open this up on the desktop. Yeah, I mean, like, for a simple, from idea to like a web-based application, I think this is pretty impressive. And I mean, Bolt.new got a very similar output as well. So it's, for me at the minute, it's really coming down to user experience for me as I'm interacting with it, and I think Replit for me is definitely a better user experience. But yeah, I'll look more into the functionality of Bolt and compare and contrast in a future session. But yeah, so our next thing is, like, really we want to deploy it. So I've got an option to deploy it up here, got a link to deploy. I want to see how we do that from this screen. Okay, so I can deploy from here. So I have to upgrade my plan to deploy from that. My plan currently doesn't allow me to deploy. Okay, so let me update my plan and I'll look at deployments on a future video. But yeah, so far this looks pretty good. Let's build in that other functionality. So we want to add the Pomodoro timer. Let's use the same prompt from Bolt. Oh yeah, it's just a simple prompt. Okay. In the last one, we essentially prompted this, and let me just go back and check. So they've added it. I can't remember if I had a prompt. No, we just went straight to publish. Cool. So it looks like it didn't have any issues when the agent builds the Pomodoro timer. Perfect. So we're getting the build now. Yeah, and it's just telling us what it's editing. So it's editing these specific files, and as I open this up, you can see the edits. It's telling us what the Pomodoro timer includes. So it's got Pomodoro timers allow you to set these 25 minutes of focus, and then following that with a 5 minutes break. So you've got this ability to play and pause from a control functionality. You can reset it, the current session. You can toggle the modes. You got a visual status, and then a clean integration. So it's integrated it under the header here. Let me expand this out. You know, look, it's functional. I do prefer the. Let me open this up. I think I do prefer this in terms of design, but I mean, what's important here is that this idea that we're building, I can now show this with, to people, and I can ask them to test it, and I can ask them, how did they find it and what else would they like this application to do. So for me, it's enough that this works. And the user might say, oh, it'd be cool if we moved that Pomodoro timer a wee bit lower, or that it was maybe a white background instead of that light purple. So these are small things that need to be changed, but again, it's that ability to just get your idea in front of people very quickly and see, you just really validate, is this something that people would pay for. All right, so we can focus, I can pause this, I can reset. Okay, so just testing that functionality. If I want to go to a break, it's 5 minutes. Okay, that works. I can pause it, and I can reset it. I mean, everything works, which is great. And that was just 2 prompts. So I put in the first prompt, and then I put in that second prompt to put in the Pomodoro timer. So really impressed with this. And so 1 minute of work. Yeah, it'd be interesting to understand actually how long it took to build, but it feels roughly about the same amount of time. This video was a bit longer. Not sure why. Maybe it did take longer to build, just looking at the timer on the video. But yeah, let me know what you think of Replit compared to Bolt. If there's anything that you would like me to explore further with Replit, or if you've seen this app, what else would you like to see built into this? Because I really want to test these AI applications and their ability to add more complexity to an application and still work. There's a lot of talk at the minute that as these apps are built and there's more complexity added, that you run into a lot of issues, and I can really see that as a potential. So yeah, let me know what you'd like to see built next. Folks, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and look, share with any of your friends, family, colleagues that might also get value from this content. In future videos, we're going to continue to build out this application, add functionality, explore Replit, Bolt, and Lovable, and any other apps that start to come up in this space. We'll also be exploring apps like ChatGPT, Gemini. We'll look at how do we use AI to automate tasks. And we'll also look at applications to build AI agents and how we can bring agents together and get them to essentially perform multiple tasks autonomously. So that's really what's in store in terms of the content that you can expect. And I really want to drive this content based on what you are enjoying. So yeah, the only way I know this is if you leave a like, if you subscribe, if you leave me a comment. I really want to drive this based on what you want. I'm going to be developing and creating a whole series on hints and tips, gotchas, and I'll do this for apps that I currently use today, but as I'm starting to use Replit and Bolt and other AI applications, I'm going to be reflecting on the things that we're doing and how we can improve them. So folks, I'll see you soon, and remember to subscribe.